Thank you for joining in person or whether online. We welcome the family, the friends, and the colleagues of Laurie. Today's celebration of life will be unique, as it's a departure from a standard memorial service. While people will not be getting up to speak about Laurie, instead, Laurie wanted to create a water ceremony where we're going to get an opportunity to express our thoughts, our feelings about Laurie through this ceremony. And can we all just take a moment and make sure our phones are on silent? Thank you for joining today's celebration. And to start our ceremony, Jeff Fowler, Laurie's nephew, will begin by lighting the candles. Thank you, Jeff. Now we'll do the 7 directions.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Rick Kitzman, and I'm a member of Althea. And I'd like to read a certificate which is for Laurie Lucero, which we recently discovered. She obviously did not get it. Long story. But I think this actually captures all of what Laurie is. She was awarded a certificate of fulfillment for becoming a prayer partner. So this certification confirms and affirms the aforenamed person the designation of prayer partner, a healing prayer practitioner with the Althea Center for Engaged Spirituality, Denver, Colorado. This person has demonstrated a commitment to their integrated understanding, spiritual maturity, deep compassion, and the gift of loving service. This recognition is given with high honors and gratitude. And I think that really succinctly describes one aspect of Laurie's life and who she was. I knew Laurie through the prayer partners of Althea, as I mentioned, and for a few years. And she was, I swear, from the first time I saw her, a classy lady. She was just classy. And her consciousness was absolutely remarkable. Because as we met every Sunday for the past 4 years, even through COVID, through Zoom, we were sharing her journey with her physical ailment. And her determination to do what it was the best for her soul was so inspiring and so exemplary to the rest of us. So Laurie taught us a lot. You know, we say goodbye to the physical Laurie, but we greet a new relationship with her, as we do with every one of our loved ones who pass away. And while we may release this ache in our hearts, we also open our hearts to that new relationship. She may physically not be here, of course, but really, Laurie will always be here with us. And so, with an opening prayer, I'd like you all to, if you're comfortable, close your eyes, and we'll just get quiet and just breathe. Just feel the breath and feel your shoulders just sink and drop and just relax. And it is through that breath that we find our unification to the infinite, to God, if you're comfortable with that term, or to spirit, to the one mind, to nature itself. But it is that infinite source of life. And as we just stop in this time, let us in our own ways give gratitude for Laurie's presence in our lives, and how you give thanks in your own sweet way for this lovely person and the experiences that you had with her. Let us be grateful for Laurie, of the gifts that she brought us all, of her joys and laughter. Because gratitude is how we get to that holy ground, to that holy state of mind. And when we think of how grateful we are to Laurie, yes, there may be sadness that she is physically gone, but gratitude in itself registers a joy of life and all of its experiences. Because it is every experience, even the sadness, that burnish our existence, our rich life with a rich glow and an appreciation for all of life. In many ways, Laurie taught us how to live and how to die. It's been said the measure of our sadness is the measure of our love. And let that be your shining light. Do not be fearful of loving too much. And may your sorrow be eased by good memories. Think of Laurie as a shooting star. Let us use Laurie's life as a guide, as a gift for our own. And may we live our days that we have left with more understanding, more kindness, less judgment, and always, always with more and more and more love. Amen.
My name is Nancy Driver, and I'm one of the prayer partners along with Mike and Connie Carter. And we were honored to be prayer partners, just like Rick, with Laurie Lucero and at Althea. And, Laurie just openly and courageously shared her journey through cancer and facing death with all of the prayer partners. We learned so much from her wisdom and strength. She inspired us to be better people and to embrace our own mortality. Laurie loved rituals from a whole variety of traditions. Rituals were part of her daily spiritual practice. We selected to do the 7 directions, which is a Native American observance. This practice invites in the energies, the divine presence, the spirit of each one of the directions. We will also be inviting in Laurie's spirit, which is right here, right now. We can feel her presence right now. And what we'll be doing is facing each direction to invite in the energies. And those 7 directions include the east, the south, the west, the north, up and down and within. So Mike Carter will be starting the 7 directions custom by welcoming in the energies from the east.
Facing east, we let the energy of the morning sun be with us now. The sun brings us warmth and light and allows our plants to grow. It heralds in a new day, reminding us of the preciousness of life. Let the energy of the East remind us that Laurie was always a ray of sunshine in our lives.
So as we face the direction of south, we welcome the energy of the south, home of the warrior, empowered by the color red. In honoring Laurie, we remember her warrior spirit, which she firmly embraced in dealing with her diagnosis. With such love, such passion, such power. She was loyal to her inner awareness of her connection to the divine and experienced self-love in her walk on earth. The red color describes her passion for living and her power over all that she experienced. We give thanks to the South for the lessons she taught us and the passion she has left behind to embrace the fullness of life. Our hearts are open. Ho.
And we just welcome in the energy of the West. For with the West is the symbol of the bear, and the bear exhibits such courage, such strength. And as it goes into hibernation, it brings on the reflection and introspection. And all of these qualities were manifested by Laurie continuously. As we face the West, we see the setting sun as it moves from light to darkness, as it moves from life to death. And the rebirthing of Laurie's spirit is with us right now. And as part of the West, we also bring in autumn and the beautiful falling leaves with their yellow colors. And water is one of the symbols of the West. And with water, we enjoy the flow of life, that flow of beautiful energy that Laurie exemplified throughout her life. And we thank you, Great Spirit, for the energies of the West. Ho.
Facing north, the energy of the north represents a cold north wind, darkness, winter, and even death. Let us learn from the buffalo to face the blizzard of the north, face first without flinching. Let us use this energy to face life's challenges and with strength and courage. We are reminded that Laurie faced death with courage and equanimity and died calmly in her sleep. Ho.
And I embrace the direction of up. Father Sky. As we welcome the energy of Father Sky, which flows from above, we know this masculine principle and the spirit of inspiration. Laurie's journey was such an inspiration that she shared so completely with her prayer partner team and with life. Her desire for truth and her compassion will live on as a blessing for all of us. Today we honor her spirit as we open our hearts to the gifts of sunshine, the wind of the creative energy of love that we experienced in her presence. May we soar like an eagle this day and give thanks. Ho.
And we welcome in the energy of Mother Earth, the abundance and nourishment that Mother Earth gives to plants, trees, animals, and humans. And the very core of Mother Earth has all of the elements that we find in the planets, the asteroids, and the stars throughout the universe. And this represents the interconnectedness, the oneness of life. Laurie embraced that oneness. She so believed in the interconnectedness of all living things. And from this place, we bring in that feminine energy of Mother Earth. The beauty, the nurturing, those qualities just exuded from Laurie. And we thank you, Great Spirit, for the energy of Mother Earth. Ho.
As we go within, let us be aware that the greatest power lies within. It is the place where we are connected to a higher power. When we are connected to the divine, we are able to deal with life's difficulties with calmness and confidence. Laurie showed us by going within, she found love for herself, for her neighbors, and for life itself. Finding the omnipresence of love is the greatest compliment to the Creator. Ho. That concludes our 7-direction ceremony.
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Carter, and I have been asked to read a letter which was received from Reverend Jane Cobb. Reverend Jane is unable to join us today, but she and her husband Carl were the ministers for many years at the First Divine Science Church, prior to it becoming the Althea Center. Jane is now the director of the Brooks Center for Spirituality, where Laurie took many classes and studied personally with Jane. So Jane wrote, "Dignity is the word that comes to mind when I think of Laurie. That beautiful quality, dignity. I first met Laurie almost 30 years ago when she and Rick Williams were attending the First Divine Science Church of Denver. But Laurie and I began to talk one-on-one and in depth only some 6 or 7 years ago, after the church had already become the Althea Center. In recent years, she had begun to work with me towards ordination. Laurie shunned drama in any form. Matter of fact could almost have been her middle name. I gradually began to understand, though, and this was long before cancer had befallen Laurie, what severe challenges she had had to face in life. Not that she ever presented things that way, but just after a while, I could read between the lines. Both her life challenges and the beauty of the dignity with which she met them are forever symbolized for me by a familiar sight of Laurie walking. She always picked her way with some care, gamely doing everything she could manage to disguise a chronic limp. That limp was a result of neglect and malnutrition in her childhood. Yet the Laurie all of us knew was always so wonderfully turned out. Her figure graced usually with one of her signature elegant shawls. After we began to seriously work together, I realized other things about Laurie that may or may not have been widely known. She was intelligent to a degree well out of the ordinary. She was clear and insightful about all things spiritual, even the most profound. She was gifted with the rarest and most useful kind of empathy, the clear-eyed kind, altogether pure of sentimentality. She was, in fact, one of the 3 or 4 of the best and most promising students in spiritual psychology I ever had. I'll be missing Laurie myself, but I'm also grieving for all those for whom she might have been a remarkable teacher and minister. In prayer, Jane Cobb.
Thank you all for being here to honor this wonderful woman being a light within us all, to take the time to be with us here in person or whether you're viewing online. It means something. So I met Laurie at Althea around 4 years ago, and it was an instant soul connection. I volunteered for her program at Althea that hosted movie nights. And it didn't take long for us to become friends and share a beautiful journey together. In the beginning of our friendship, we would just meet for dinner and share stories about our lives and the lessons we were learning. At that time, I had no idea what an influential, loving, supportive, generous woman and being she would be to me. And she would, over time, become my best friend, a mother figure, a role model, and a mentor. And I've come to learn from speaking with some of you all over the past few weeks she was also this to you as well. And we all share a common bond, and that is the legacy of Laurie that she's given us and all the love. And while we are processing the loss of Laurie, let's also remember what still lives inside of us, which is her love and inspiration. And we can access Laurie's love by going within our hearts, and she will be there. The loss of Laurie in our lives is a big one because she was a huge presence and support. She taught us how to be our best self, how to be a person of character and integrity. Her life was a demonstration of these qualities, and she did so without reservation or hesitation. She was our shelter from the storm, where we could go and rest and recharge. Her words of honesty and encouragement helped us face our life challenges with a little more ease and grace. Laurie was a wise woman with insights and understanding that came from all the work she did on herself. She stayed dedicated to her spiritual path and dedicated to those she loved. Milan the emperor said, "The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of them all." And I think that represents Laurie, as you see these beautiful flowers. And throughout her life, Laurie did face her adversity with courage and bravery. And even during her own challenges, she always showed up and supported us, encouraging the very best in us, even when she had long days. To live a life of service is an act of unconditional love, and that is what Laurie did. She gave unconditional love in all aspects of her life, whether that was her personal relationships, spiritual community, her family, her work, her colleagues. She gave so selflessly in all of those areas, and she asked for very little in return. Her reward was seeing our happiness and our success. 2 years ago, when Laurie was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, I was with her at the doctor's when she received her diagnosis, had her surgery, went through chemo. And Laurie took this diagnosis and used it as a learning and growing opportunity. And I asked her, after she got her diagnosis, "What are you feeling, Laurie?" And she said, "Shannon, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to travel. I just need to go within." I was blown away by that statement. Even with the news of cancer that had a very low survival rate, she still stepped up to her life. She never felt sorry for herself. In that moment, she ignited a light within that shone so bright no disease could interrupt. And her decision to embrace dying and to continue living, despite this news, exemplifies what it means to be courageous, brave, and resilient. Not only physically, but spiritually too. It's been a great honor to be able to be by her side throughout that chapter in her life, to learn how to embrace death with grace and strength, to continue our connection with God and trust the process, even though life seemed unfair. Watching Laurie persevere through her chemotherapy, her illness, was inspiring to see even though the physical body may be declining, our well-being could still be thriving. While time was not on our side, Laurie used it to the best of her ability to stay engaged in her healing process and her soul's growth. And she stayed dedicated and committed to that. And I think it helped her spirit live past what the doctors predicted and projected where she would live. Because if anyone knows Laurie, she lived life on her own terms. We shared Sundays together, and we would go to service, have lunch, and then go back to her house and have tea. And our tea time in her kitchen was this sacred time where we talked and we supported each other. How I would come to cherish this time together. And I remember one Sunday, I came to her house and I was just feeling really defeated. You know those days where you just don't know where you're going to get the strength to keep pushing through. Where it feels like there's more barriers than bridges. So I asked Laurie, does the work ever end? Laurie replied, no, it doesn't. And I asked her, so what do we do? In that moment, I was really hoping for an answer like, well, just, take it easy, take a break, it's okay. But then she looks me in the eye and she says, we keep showing up. We keep showing up. And that message I want to share with you all today. We keep showing up in our lives, no matter what the circumstances may be. We keep showing up for each other. We keep showing up even when we are tired and we have long days, because Laurie showed us it's possible. God bless you all. So now is the time for you all to take a moment as we enter into the water ceremony and the remembrance of Laurie. Mark Nepo says, water in its clear softness fills whatever hole it finds. It is not skeptical or distrusting. It does not say this gully is too deep or that field is too open. Like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making that touched thing grow. So everyone will get a pen and paper to write down things that you want to express about how much Laurie meant to you, or anything you want to say to Laurie, anything your heart wants to express about or to Laurie. And then afterwards, you will bring your paper with those heartfelt words, and you will come down the aisle, and you will release them in the water bowl. And by completing this ceremony, we are remembering the beautiful gifts that Laurie has given us. And by releasing them, we are sending it back to Laurie. So the prayer partners will come by the aisle and hand out papers and pens. And so you guys will have a chance to write that down. And then this right aisle, once you're finished, please step out and then come down, and then you will release your words in this water bowl here on this right side. This left side, you will come out and come down and release your words into that water bowl. The prayer partners are coming out and they'll give you those papers and pens.
Yes? Did you have a piece of paper to put in?
Oh, I did, thank you.
They did already, okay. Thank you. Then I'll ask you all to shut your eyes, knowing that the image of Laurie is here on my left. I know you've been seeing that. I think we're all feeling her presence. And the presence of each one of you, thinking about her, and knowing that in a strange and mysterious way, she is here, right now. Amen.
Hello. I just wanted to read from her prayer. It says, may your being express the original vibration that is eternal and in which you were created. May you know the river of peace that runs through your soul. And in this life, with perfect assurance that all is held within the Creator. All is good, and indeed, all is God.
Thank you, guys. So Nancy is going to read the meta prayer, which Laurie wrote, and it's also in your program, so if you guys wanted to follow along.
As Shannon said, this meta prayer was written by our beloved Laurie Lucero. May you live in the center of your heart, where earth and heaven meet. May you always know the truth of your being that resides in your heart, where the Creator can always be found. May you live in your heart that holds it all, and no one is denied. The space which holds divine love, that is life itself, the joy of life expressing. May your being express the original vibration that is eternal and in which you are created. May you know the river of peace that runs through your soul, and in this life, with perfect assurance that is held within the Creator. All is good, and indeed, all is God.
Okay, does everybody have a candle? Yes? Does anyone need one? Okay. Well, Jason will get that for you. And then can you keep your hand raised, the one who needs a candle? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4, 5. Okay. Okay, now does everybody have a candle? Yes? Wonderful. Okay. So let us close our eyes for a moment and think of Laurie, a memory, or a time, or a feeling, just dropping into our hearts. And let whatever comes up be there, whether that's a happy memory, whether that's sadness. Just embrace what's there and connect to Laurie within your heart. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And now let's light the candle. And this light is symbolic of the light that you carry of Laurie within you. And now let's hold these candles up. And now let's look around and see how we are all joined in love and remembrance of Laurie. May we continue to carry Laurie's life in our lives and our days to come. Thank you all for attending today's service in person or online. For safety precautions, there will not be a reception today. But next, we will have our closing song with Daryl. Peace be with all of you. Amen. And so it is.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear.
you, everyone. The service is now concluded. May God be with you in your days, and Laurie in our hearts.